sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just a perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, but again, away feels like it's been...
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Social Beaches. I'm Carolyn Smith.
And I'm Kelly Bowling.
And we sell real estate all along the Space Coast and into Indian River County. And if you have a question about real estate or you're interested in buying or selling, we'd love to hear from you. You can message us or comment on whichever platform you're watching this on, or you can call us at 321-422-2160. 2160, hello, or email us at hello@coastalestateteam.com. And today we are going to be talking about the condo market. And we actually looked back, somebody commented on one of our old podcasts.
This was quite some time ago.
Yeah, where we talked about there might be some good pricing on some of these older condos coming up. We are seeing that on some of them. So I think coming up over the next couple of years, just something if you're an investor or you're looking for something, a condo. I'm not saying to wait. I'm just saying, and know that you'll have to pay those assessments. Be aware.
Yeah.
The assessment won't go away because you bought it.
Right. A good deal might not actually be a good deal by the time you look at all the numbers, right?
And I do have some condo buyers who are only looking at new condos now because of this. They want a condo with full reserves. They want a condo that they're not going to have to worry about these things. So they're looking for newer condos, which are a higher price point, but they feel more secure knowing that that's done. We could see that this was going to be coming and kind of warning people, and now we're here. And the condo market is really struggling right now, and we want to talk a little bit about why that's happening and the numbers, I think, first of all.
Yes.
So what's going on with the actual increase in inventory. So for May, well, actually for April, it's May.
Is May,
It's May, hello. Yeah. The May numbers just came out. So for May, the inventory for condos and townhomes in Brevard County is up over 100%, 106%.
Yeah, it's actually at 6.4 months, almost 6.5 months of inventory, which signals a buyer's market. It's actually it's almost double the inventory for single-family homes.
Yes,
which is wild.
And up from 3.1 months of inventory a year ago. And what that means, that months means that if no new condos and townhomes came onto the market as of today, or as of when these statistics were run, it would in 6.4 months. It would take 6.4 months to eat up all the current inventory.
So when you're trying to sell a condo,
it's
not happening tomorrow, probably.
Yes, and remember, these statistics are already old.
Yes,
right?
So you're like a month behind.
Yeah, you're a month
really,
behind.
because that's May. They have to close it out, run the numbers, and what are we, like at the end of June?
End of June, so... And when you see this, it's even later. So we expect this trend to sort of continue.
And maybe snowball a little bit.
Yes. So if you have a condo, you should be paying attention to this. There's also, we noticed, this is the first month I've seen that the sale price, the median sale price for townhouses and condos actually decreased by 2.2%. So you're seeing actually now increased inventory, and along with that, you would expect to see that decrease.
Right. And it's happening.
Pricing. Mm-hmm.
It is happening. So... I noticed that I had some people that were looking at a condo last week, and it's in a building where they've already done that structural integrity reserve study, which not all of them have, because that's not required until
end of this year.
End of this
year has to be done by,
Yeah, so that was nice to see, but it had been kind of just sitting, and it started off at $665,000. It's riverfront, beautiful, beautiful views. And it was already down to $499, and I don't know that it's going to sell at that price.
Yeah. It's really, you have to, if you are selling a condo, you have to get in front of that ball rolling down the hill. Like, you have to get in front of it, because otherwise you're just chasing the prices down. Yeah. And, I was selling real estate during the downturn, the big downturn. We're not expecting that, but the big downturn, 2008 through about 2012. And the people who got in big trouble were the ones who, they were reducing, but they were reducing way behind the market.
Yeah, after, like, they were probably reducing, weeks into where they were told to start.
Yes.
And then you're steady, And
it's hard, and we get that. I mean, it's hard when you had years of the prices going up.
Yeah.
And now you have sort of had a stable market for a couple years, so then you're like, okay, well, now this is where the price should be, and we're telling you, no, really, the price needs to be lower than what you think it should be.
Yeah.
And buyers are really holding back on. There are a lot less buyers looking at condos and townhouses, and the reason for that is there's a couple reasons.
Yeah, so we have all these new laws that
Yeah.
were created kind of in reaction to the collapse in Surfside
Yes.
that happened. Gosh, how long has that been now?
I feel like it's been
a while.
2 years, maybe. I
I feel
don't
like
know.
maybe more than that,
Yeah.
but it happened. I think everybody's familiar with that. If you're in Florida, especially, you've heard about it. And you have to have. There's no more days of building owners getting together on the board and deciding, oh, we don't need to fund reserves because we'll
Right.
just deal with that when it happens. You're not going to be legally allowed to do that anymore.
Right. Or funding reserves. I mean, what you saw was either they waived reserves or they funded partially, or they also, the other thing they were doing was they were saying, oh, well, in 10 years when the roof needs to be replaced, when it needed to be replaced in 5, or it needed to be replaced in 10, but their estimates were crazy low.
They were too low. Yeah.
Way too low. They weren't estimating properly.
Right.
They weren't getting quotes. They weren't trying to figure out what is this really going to cost to make sure that we're putting aside enough money.
so that we're not having big heavy assessments and
Or
then not able to do the repairs,
not doing the
because-
maintenance.
Yeah.
Not doing the maintenance. Yeah.
Definitely, these structural integrity reserve studies are interesting. I had the opportunity to read that one, and I mean, the engineering company went in and found everything that they could
They
find.
do. They find everything.
And there was some issues with water, standing water around this property that would sometimes get into the garage and flood it because it's not underground, but it's right there at the
Low.
marina. It's
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
And, the owners were like, oh, yeah, that's been fixed. And then the engineering company's like, well, it's been partially abated, but not fully repaired. So there are still some issues. And we could see it when we were there because
Right.
we've had so much rain that, there's some water in the garage. It's not
Right.
like you're not walking through water, but you can see some low spots for sure. And, how much is it going to cost to fully fix all the other things? Like they noted some stuff with balconies where, all the balconies
The
had to be
structural
redone.
things are
yeah.
big. And what we're seeing is, so the condo owners are getting hit with, well, first of all, let's go backwards because we didn't talk about insurance.
Right.
So the other big thing is insurance. So the insurance companies, partly probably because of this collapse
Yes.
and the cost and just the insurance companies being concerned. And also insurance is going up.
Just in
Florida,
general.
In
Yeah,
general.
in general.
So now all these condos are having to raise their monthly in order to pay for the insurance. That's
Yeah.
now a new thing. So you're getting hit on two sides. You're getting assessments for the work that wasn't done, that the money that wasn't reserved to properly fund the reserves and get you where you need to be. And then the monthly is going up to continue to properly fund and pay insurance and whatever else.
Yeah.
So the condo owners are getting hit two ways.
Yes. Monthly and then the assessments.
Yeah, the big assessments. And those some
Yeah.
of those assessments are really, really large. And I was reading an article. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. Oh no, it was a video, and I couldn't figure out how to send it. But it was from CNN, and it was a guy who his assessment was $280,000. Yep, in Williams Island, which I guess is on the west coast of Florida. And they said there were assessments that he had like a smaller unit. Some of the bigger units were double that or more.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like up to I think 700 and some thousand was the
afford
largest.
that?
Yeah,
That's
well, that's what he
crazy.
said. They couldn't afford it, and then also their monthly condo dues went up, and he's like, we can't afford it, and everyone's selling.
Yeah.
So-
And when everybody's selling, guess what happens to the prices? Well, first of all, we'll see. We talk about it in the office all the time. We'll be like, there's a lot of units for sale in that building. All of a sudden, what's going on?
Right.
Because, not everybody puts in documents and shares information like they're supposed to with the
Right.
listing. Sometimes it's like we'll share it when you ask for it kind of thing. I feel like, I don't know. Can we just be fully transparent in everything?
We're going
I
to
feel
find
like-
out anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're not asking for your meeting minutes, y'all ask for meeting minutes.
Yes.
Get the reserve study.
So important.
Get all the information that you can. Ask for that structural integrity reserve study. You need to be asking for all this
Yeah.
if you're looking for condos. But what's the number of buyers has gone down because this is in the news. Like I see it. I'm not looking for it. Like that CNN video
Yeah.
popped up.
It just popped up.
These
yeah.
articles pop up. People are hearing about it. So the people who are like, oh, I want to buy a condo are now like, maybe I'll buy a house or a villa.
Yeah.
There's still some concern with attached units of villas a townhouse.
Right.
Those are also being impacted, but not to the same degree
No.
as the condos.
And I feel like some of them have seen, there's a townhome community here locally that's kind of like in the starter home price point.
Yeah.
And their assessments have gone up a few times. So now they're unaffordable, and we're seeing people, selling them because it's a starter home community. They can't afford that extra monthly expense.
Right.
Because they're on budget. So when you raise it, even by like $100 a month,
Yeah.
that's $1,200 a year more than what they thought they were paying. So
Right. The 2-story condos don't, so 2-story or less are not subject to this new law, but that doesn't mean, just because they're not, doesn't mean that they shouldn't be reserving properly and shouldn't be having
Right.
studies and shouldn't know what their costs are. So you might think, oh, well, I'll just buy in a 2-story building and then I don't have the, well, hello.
there's still stuff that could need to get fixed.
Yes, you still can have the big assessments. You're still going to have an issue with insurance. So
Right.
if you're looking to buy a condo, factor that in. And if you're
Yes.
looking to sell, get ahead of this. Don't get stuck. Don't get stubborn unless you can afford to.
Yeah, if you're planning to stay and you love where you live
Yeah.
and you know that, your association is doing things that they're supposed to be doing and you're not worried about these big assessments, then by all means, stay put. But
Or wait to sell till the market stabilizes.
improves. I think it will. I think it's just a
Yes,
matter
it
of
will.
like everybody has to kind of get their buildings up to code,
Mm-hmm.
the new laws, and let some time pass for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then within a couple years, I think it'll recover. But it's not going to happen overnight.
No. I'm hoping in 2025 sometime we see some leveling out, because these studies are supposed to all be done by the end of 2024. Then you're going to see assessments hitting. If they haven't hit already, you're going to see those happening like first quarter,
Right.
second quarter, 2025, and hopefully the insurance. Supposedly we hear the insurance is leveling out in Florida.
Yeah.
We'll see how this hurricane season is. But one of
Right.
the interesting things, so we read this article in Kiplinger.
Yeah.
I can never say that right. And it was talking about some of these older condos are actually going to be at a point where they're going to be torn down, essentially.
Well, like, you see older homes, it's like, oh, that's a tear down. Well, some of these buildings, it's
Yeah.
not going to be worth the amount of money that's required to do the repairs.
Right.
Versus just starting from
repairs
scratch.
and also keep
Yeah.
them up over time. So, and they're dated. A lot of them don't have the higher ceilings or the more windows or the things that people are the open
Right.
floor plan.
Yeah.
Or they have old pipes in the actual building, which is
Gosh,
really
yeah.
hard to fix. So they're talking about, can your condo association go out and sort of market to developers? And they said only 75 or 76%, a lot of them, it's like 3/4 or more of the residents have to agree. But people may want to get out.
They might. It might be worth to them
may
to
be.
sell to a developer. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder, value-wise, are they going to be able to be made at least whole by doing that? Depends on how long they've been there, what they paid for them. Because
I mean, when you think of a tall high-rise, how many units there are, what the value is per unit, plus the land, then what is the new building going to be selling for? But the new units do sell for significantly more.
oh,
but
definitely, for sure, yeah.
I don't know.
And then they're new, which is nice. So you
Which
don't
is
have to worry.
nice.
It's like a new house. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about the stuff for right now.
and if they reserve properly to begin with, and they set the dues up properly to begin with, where the monthly is covering, and
Right.
you're keeping up. As I see a lot of comments, and it's true. A lot of these condo owners, they kicked the can down the road, right? They just said, "Oh, somebody will deal with this later."
Yeah.
And the day of reckoning is here for these condos, where they did not fund and they did not do the things and they didn't maintain.
Right.
So you have deferred maintenance, and deferred maintenance causes more problems as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
the other thing that recently just passed, our governor signed into law where condo board members will now have to undergo education
that would be nice.
to be on the board.
Yeah.
Why was this not already a requirement? Who knows? It's not a lot of education. I believe I read it's 4 hours, but it's
that's
on
it?
how to run a condo association. So it's just some little class that they might have to take. So yeah, hopefully it provides.
These people are
the
responsible for
basics.
very big budgets,
Yes.
and most condos, things don't necessarily have to be voted on. Like some big decisions do not
Right.
necessarily have to be voted on
Yeah,
by
depending on how it's set up. Yeah, and there was another aspect of that bill that was something about like the board cannot retaliate, I guess, against owners that maybe they have some personal vendettas with.
There's a name for those people. Condo commandos.
There you go. I like it. Condo commandos.
There's a name.
There's some everywhere, but
Yeah.
you know, if you get really lucky, like the one that I was showing with my clients last week, they already knew a lot of people that lived in this building because they live in a building nearby. Well, they don't live there, but they own a unit there that they spend time at. And they're out and about. They walk when they're here. It's like downtown, super walkable. So they know everybody already, and they know that the people are nice. And it's like, you know, it's like a small little neighborhood. So you can get really lucky.
Yes.
But it was super funny because we were standing out chatting to one of the residents, and then another resident popped out of her door. What's going on out there? As, you know, they do in the
do wanna
condos.
know.
She's like, I'm just being nosy.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, at least you're honest.
Yeah.
You know, she was super nice too.
Yeah. That is true. I mean, but condos they're great for lock and go. I mean, if you aren't there full time, and not to have to maintain the outside and the views that you can get from like these oceanfront and riverfront condos.
Right. I mean, the one that they have now, it's so cute. They went in and redid the whole thing, and it's adorable. And it's all they really need for like, you know, a second home where they're here visiting for a few days at a time. It's it's a really nice hotel room with a full kitchen that's tiny, but you know, it's like a home two suites.
It's like your own Airbnb.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
So they're good. We have nothing against condos. We like condos. We want people to be careful when they're buying, and we also want sellers to, I mean, it's horrible because I have a couple condos listed right now, and I hate to tell people this because they're like, no, it was worth, and you know.
We hate, you know, there was no way that you could know when you bought that unit, like however long ago it was, that this was going to be happening because laws got passed. We don't control that, unfortunately. And
it needed to be done.
It did need to be done.
It needed to be done. I mean, I have to say that this, honestly, it's a good thing in the long run. It's just, it's very, very much painful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that transition point, I think, is painful.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
it for condos. Anyway,
we don't have
if you
any
have
good
questions
news
on condos, huh?
We have no good news for that.
Yeah, and we're going to eat our breakfast.
Yeah.
We got a little Starbucks here. Yeah. Don't come for us on that either. We like Starbucks. All right. Well, we'll talk to y'all next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Weather forecast today.
Today's